Closing out Week 13 in the USL Championship from Seaside, California in Cardinale Stadium. It's Monterey Bay FC and New Mexico United. Today's match is presented by Taylor Farms. The former pro striker Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. A busy night last night in the Western Conference. This is how the standings look coming into today. New Mexico holding that spot at the top, while Monterey Bay has dropped a couple of spots from where they started the weekend. But looking at this Monterey Bay side, they have just been decimated with injuries, and right now goals have been hard to come by.
Especially when you have your two start strikers that are out to injury under Frank Gallup. Now, who's going to step up? Who's going to be that difference maker higher up the field? But we had the chance to speak with him. We asked him about the Charleston Battery side. He said, look, we're really good defensively, but we need to be a little bit more clinical. So now Alex Dixon, he's going to play at that false number 9. How good can he be here at home against a very good New Mexico United side?
And speaking of Alex Dixon, a goal and an assist for him so far this season, but he's going to be the man they're going to look for.
He's just so clever in the movement that he picks up, whether it's coming to feet, whether it's running the channels. I do think he's going to be a big factor of Monterey Bay. Look for him to make runs from inside out and pull center back. So secondary movements, Alex Dixon needs to be very good for the home side.
On the other side for New Mexico United, this team coming in great form. They've won 5 straight in all competitions.
Confident the way that they play, getting numbers higher up the field, and that's exactly what Eric Quill wants. You see the talent that they has at his disposal, whether it's through set pieces, whether it's through combination play. Can that come and transform here on the road against a Monterey Bay side who's really good at home? Good challenge for New Mexico United here today.
And Greg Hurst, he's been pouring in the goals. He's enjoying probably his best year in the USL Championship so far.
5 goals. He's a clever finisher, whether it's coming to feet, whether it's in behind, his movement in around that 18-yard box, and he's really clinical, whether it's beating you 1v1 through combination play. I do think the question for Eric Gold, what does the service look like into Greg Hurst, and how good can he be in around that 18-yard box?
We are building you up to first kick, a sunny Sunday afternoon here in Seaside, and we close it out with a good one here in the Western Conference. We'll have lineups in first kick coming up next from Cardinale Stadium.
Let's go! I'm about to make my grand entrance.
Do you want to go to the game tonight? Yeah!
Let's go! I am the future, yeah. I am the future, yeah. Let's go. I am the future, yeah. 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 Let's go. I am the future, yeah. I am the
Montage Health, your hometown team.
This one's for the underdog that gets up before the sun comes up. Success is something that suggests that you have made an extra effort above and beyond what your competitors and other people do. Success at Coastal is making sure that we do your job right and we take care of your family and we take care of our family. We are Coastal. We are family.
Looking at today's starting lineups, we will start with the home side and Frank Gallup. Just one change from their 0-0 draw on Wednesday against Charleston.
And it's going to be Revelar. He's going to play at the withdrawn number 10 position, and Frank Gallup really likes his movement. But it all comes down to Alex Dixon. How clever can he be at bringing Martinez and Gonzalez? Look for a lot of fluidity and a lot of rotations higher up the field for this Monterey Bay side.
On the other side for Eric Quill and New Mexico United, just one change as well from the 2-1 win over San Antonio.
And you look from top to bottom, this side is stacked with talent. Greg Hurst, he's going to stay high. He's going to occupy the center backs. Hernandez, Bailey, and Hosu. Look for them to dictate tempo and grow into this game. Moment after moment, Eric Quill likes to be possessive in the way that he approaches games.
Now, between these two coaches, this is pretty cool. We're talking with Frank Gallup this week. They were former teammates with the Tampa Bay Mutiny back in 1997 and 1998. There's Frank Gallup as a player. Gallup played for the Mutiny from 96 to 98 and then became an assistant coach in 99. So they know each other very well from their time there with the Mutiny. And today they go up against each other as coaches for the first time. And this is going to be a pretty cool matchup as these two teams are on the field and ready to go. The last time these two teams played each other was all the way back in May. Eric Quill had not taken charge yet, but today they will face off as coaches. We are underway on a sunny Sunday afternoon from Seaside. It's New Mexico United visiting Monterey Bay. Thanks so much for being with us. Standalone game to close out Week 13 in the USL Championship. And it's two teams in really opposite form at the moment. And this New Mexico United team, they have been pretty much the talk of the Western Conference right now after the the loss last night by Sacramento. They are at the top. They have a couple games in hand, and they've looked really good so far this year.
Just the style of play that this New Mexico side likes to play with. Get on the ball, move the ball from left to right, especially the players in the center of the park. The ability to dictate tempo, whether they're home, whether they're away. Big challenge here for the visitors.
And already coming into the box, this one cut back, bouncing through the middle and cleared. Well, if you can hear the dogs barking in the background, Ricky, it's Pause at the Park Day, so they'll create a little bit of an atmosphere here on this Sunday afternoon. Sometimes they'll play like those Ring doorbell sounds to get the dogs barking. We'll see if they do that here today at Cardinale Stadium. This is a Monterey Bay side coming off that 0-0 draw against Charleston midweek. Frank Gallup was very pleased about the clean sheet. That's a very tough team to keep off the score sheet, and they were able to do so. He said we were just a bit unlucky in front of goal and didn't take our chances. That's been the story with this Monterey Bay side as of late, and they're trying to get things going. They've scored just over a goal per game, but they're looking to add 2 or 3 to the score sheet here today. Play this through the middle. I think that's a handball. It'll be a whistle and a free kick. Our referee is Servando Bernarico. Maples and Herbert. A couple of first-year players with New Mexico United forming that center back duo today. Trying to work it down the right. It's broken up, and this is where Monterey Bay can be at their best in transition. Trying to work it quick up the fields. Finding space in the middle, it's Moby Fair. Fair will keep moving it out wide. The cross is overhit and out of play. That's Michael Gonzalez, a player that Frank Gallup found in an open tryout, brought him into preseason, and see where he is now. He's starting today, and maybe some of that due to the injury bugs, but he has found himself in some good areas to try to find some goals so far this year.
And the one word that Frank Gallup mentioned to us to describe him is just work rate. Selfless, the way that he likes to make his run to bring players into this game, puts the team first, so look for him to work on both sides of the ball and always be an outlet for this Monterey Bay side on this near side. The next step in the progression is how clean can he be in around that 18-yard box in terms of goals and assists.
Another cross coming in, this one bouncing and finally headed back calmly to Alex Tampakis. Tampakis under a bit of pressure. Herbert decides to go over the top. It's touched away. New Mexico get it back. Now they'll look for the switch to try to find some space on the near side. Return ball for Chris Gloucester, and he can look through the middle. To avoid the referee there. New Mexico's able to keep it. Gloucester looking for Hurst. Guzman back for Siaha. Guzman, who's played some time this year at left back. It's maybe a reason why he has 3 assists so far this year. He has a team high 3 assists. Here's Gonzalez. Fair. Gonzalez. This one out of play. It's a throw into Monterey Bay. There is Eric Quill, his 2nd season in charge here with New Mexico United. Said about that game against San Antonio, a 2-1 win against SAFC. So the first 30 really in their favor, but he said we played our brand of soccer after that. He said we did a great job killing the game and staying aggressive throughout. Hosu and Hurst scoring the goals on the day for New Mexico United. Conceded an early goal in the 21st minute, a couple goals before halftime, that was it. San Antonio, a late red card in that game as well. Didn't really factor in 90+5. Bailey long through the middle, and the flag is up for offside against Davion Flanagan. Part of the Charlotte Independent side that reached the USL League One final a year ago, and now he makes the jump back to the USL Championship. He has played in the past. Orange County, Tulsa, Charleston.
Just see how comfortable this New Mexico side is at playing between the lines. It's 1-2 touches around the corner, and the spacing and positioning is exactly what Eric Quill would like to start this game. A lot of support underneath Greg Hurst, players that like to form triangles.
Here's Herbert and Maples. You can see New Mexico taking the game here early on to Monterey Bay on their home fields. Loaded forward again and bouncing through for Siaha. Mexico just has the edge in this series history. This is the 5th matchup between these two. New Mexico has not won here in Seaside. A foul in the middle. That's a heavy foul by Kai Green and an early yellow card, taking down Jacobo Reyes there in the middle.
We've talked about the movement playing between lines for New Mexico, so now the challenge is for Monterey Bay, especially the 2 center backs, it's the timing. When do you step out, when do you drop off? Jacobo Reyes just gets her right before Kai Green. And like you said, Josh, it's a really tough challenge. Not what you want if you are Frank Yallop. 8 minutes in, one of your 2 center backs on a yellow card.
Talked about how thin this Monterey Bay side is with injuries. No Tristan Traeger, Luther Archimet, he's out for the season. Chase Boone, another player who picked up an injury, and Backus has to play this out to midfields. That man who just got a touch, Rafa Baca, an important player to get back for this Monterey Bay side. He's been back now for a few weeks. Gonzalez. Here's Baca. Baca, well over 250 appearances with Cruz Azul. His first year here with Monterey Bay. Crucial player in the middle as this is slipped through. Tambaka's got a touch. It's a flex back, and it's onto the wrong side of the post. What a chance. Walter Martinez didn't know much about it, and he couldn't steer it on frame. That's just kind of how it's gone in front of goal.
Talked about the ability from Moby Fair and the balance between him and Baca take nothing away from the vision and the amount of pace on this ball. Bit of an awkward coming together between Herbert And Tambakis. If you're Walmart Martinez, even looking at this guy and how this ball does not end up in the back of the net is beyond me. Unable to get his feet underneath him. What a fantastic opportunity that goes to the wayside here for the home side.
It goes back to what Frank Yallop has talked about, just being unlucky in front of goal. I think that's pretty unlucky right there as well.
We were talking off air about this front line for Monterey Bay, Josh, and it's really interesting because Alex Dixon is not a true out-and-out number 9. So just by tendency, he's going to drop off and be part of the build-up. So now that leaves real estate for the outside runs, whether it is Gonzalez, or whether it is Walmart Martinez, to really occupy that space. So we talked about the decision-making for Guzman and Kai Green, the 2 center backs from Monterey Bay. It's the same thing for Maples and Herbert. Passing players off, the rotations and communication needs to be really good for this New Mexico side.
Again, New Mexico looking to build out. Flanagan. There's Nicky Hernandez. Hosu. Reyes looking for space centrally and finds it with Hernandez. Again, floated out wide. Gloucester. Touched it away. New Mexico still able to keep it, only momentarily. There's Baca again. Looking for space on the far side and finds it with Grant Robinson. He's looking forward. Martinez. Monterey Bay will look to keep it now. Fair. Wide, Maury Donor hits the cross away. Wasn't too dangerous, although Maples made it interesting. Tambakis, I think, wanted to take that, and now Monterey Bay will get another chance. Here's Walmart Martinez showing some skill. Dixon for Baca. Donor trying to get end line. He gets the cross away. Herbert sends it right back where it came from. And it's out for a throw-in.
Really good spell here for Monterey Bay. When you play for Frank Yallop, as an outside back, you just have so much responsibility, especially getting yourself higher, providing service in the final third. So that's what you see, the lack of the presence of a true number 9. Wanting to get on the end of it makes life very easy for Maples and Herbert just to win that initial ball. But if you're Frank Yallop, you have to be very pleased with how your side has approached this game 13 minutes in.
Wrestled to the ground is Alex Dixon. A free kick for Monterey Bay right at midfield. As we look at today's injury report, it's brought to you by Montage Health. We mentioned Archimet and Boone. It's a long list, unfortunately, for Monterey Bay at the moment. Getting Tristan Traeger back will be a very important piece for Monterey Bay. He's down the line again. Gonzalez puts this into a dangerous area. Herbert heads away. As far as Walmart Martinez, Guzman, again, Maples having to get this out of harm's way. Barrage of crosses here early on from Monterey Bay, giving New Mexico something to think about in the early going. And now the flag will come up for offside against Adrian Rebelar.
And once again, it is Maury Donor on this near side that's been really active as he stays high and wide. It puts pressure on Gloucester because now he needs to make a decision. Do they stay compact with Maples and Herbert, or does he go out and face the outside back? That instance, he stepped out, and that's when you need the rotation from whether it's Bailey or Hosu to make that tracking run to find Gonzalez. Frank Caleb needs to be, once again, really happy with how his side has started, the movement, and the spaces that they picked up higher up the field.
Now it's all about turning these chances into goals. They've only scored in 2 of their last 7 games during this winless run that has featured 5 losses and 2 draws. He scored in the 2-1 loss against Hartford on the road, and then that 2-2 draw here at home where they salvaged a point late on against Memphis back on May 11th. A lot of shutouts here recently. Gonzalez in the middle, Baca. Looking to keep it in the middle. Gonzalez trying to let it run through. Dixon. Bailey looking through the middle. Flanagan. Reyes. Maples under some pressure. Hurst. And now a whistle will stop play. Hurst will get it going quickly. Here's Maples. Missed touch there by Abdi Mohammed and turned over. Omar Martinez blocked. Hernandez keeps it alive, and now New Mexico can look upfield again. Mohammed or Ibion Flanagan. His cross bouncing in. Green there to dispel the danger. Hosu. He dumped this into the corner, and Reyes did not keep that in play. Tune into the CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, June 5th for a USL Texas showdown as San Antonio FC takes on El Paso Locomotive at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Monterey Bay taking on Charleston earlier this week on CBS Sports Network, a 0-0 draw. So a quick turnaround here for Monterey Bay. They've had an interesting slate of games as of late. They had to go all the way east to face Loudoun. They came back home, went back east to face Hartford, then had a midweek match against Charleston, and now closing out this 3-game week, if you will, with this Western Conference showdown. Gallup, a lot to balance with that, the travel, the injuries. Stoner sends this out of play. Interesting, when you look at the standings, it's not often that a team that is in first place has a 0 goal difference. 15 goals scored, 15 goals conceded. And you look at this Western Conference, Sacramento, they have the best goal difference at +7, but it's just so tight right now in the West. From 8 until 3, there's 2 points separating that many teams. It's not much more up to New Mexico in the live standings, currently on 23 points.
I think the only argument for Eric Quill in this New Mexico United side is you need more goal scorers. Greg Hurst has 5, Bruce has 2, and then there's a plethora of players that only have 1. So yes, you have the talent, but how do you get that talent in terms of productivity to translate? We've got a player like Avion Flanagan, Hernandez, Reyes to produce a little bit more when you get higher up the field. That's going to be the challenge for this New Mexico United side as they progress into this campaign.
All of their wins in the USL Championship have been by just 1 goal. They've been very tight wins. It's better to come out on that side of them than splitting the points and settling for a draw. We've seen that with Rhode Island this year. He picked up another draw last night against Hartford as Tambakis is out of his goal. Can Monterey Bay take advantage? No! Grant Robinson tried to do it, or pardon me, Revelar tried to do it himself, and it didn't quite work out. Now it's Greg Hurst back the other way for New Mexico. Baca goes to ground. Somehow he wins it back. We were doing a game a few weeks ago, same goal, where Anthony Siaha ran off to the corner, came back and made a save. Tambakis lucky he didn't have to make a save on that attempt.
You look at this Monterey Bay side, most of their attacking actions have come on the wide parts of the field. Robinson, Donor, like I mentioned, so influential at advancing higher, creating overloads. And it's the off-the-ball movement that can really hurt teams, and we've seen that early on here for this Monterey Bay side, whether it's Herbert or Maples having a really difficult time dealing with the direct ball and the movement. As a goalkeeper, Josh, you have to be so decisive when you decide to come off your line. Tambakis, he just gets caught in no man's land. There's no need for you to be that far off your line, but give credit to Maples. Just watch his footwork. Does not go down a little bit too early and denies a goal-scoring opportunity going back the other way. I think Hernandez really late just catches Gonzalez.
People sliding all over the place, and finally New Mexico gets it back under their control.
Hasn't been the cleanest of starts for the visiting side here. Too many times he's playing between lines. The ball's been given over very cheaply, and that is the MO for this New Mexico side. How good can they be at playing between the lines? Just look at the lack of touches, the lack of influence from Greg Hurst. Highlighted him in the open. A player that hopes and wants the service from the players underneath him.
Backus sends it away. Hurst. It's moved out wide again. Gloucester. Maples and Herbert. No surprise that the possession is well in favor of New Mexico. Another foul there against Walmer Martinez. He's maybe back in his more comfortable role. There was an injury to Grant Robinson, so he was filling in at left back for a bit, and then he was suspended for a while, so that's why it was Guzman at left back. It's been kind of a revolving door at that left back position this year for Monterey Bay. Maples right through the middle. They picked out Talon Maples as the man they're going to boo whenever he gets on the ball.
Be interested to see if the dogs follow that as well. They start barking when he gets the ball.
Bailey dispossessed. Revelar is fouled. Free kick Monterey Bay. putting pressure on this back line.
Once again, just sloppy here from the visitors. No need of your Maples to play this ball into Zico Bailey with the player up his back. Baca so influential in the center of the park on both sides of the ball, turning your defense into offense. And the result of that, you really put Herbert in a spot that he does not want to step off his line. Really good opportunity here for Walmart Martinez just to put this thing in the mixer and cause a little bit of chaos right in front of Tambakis.
Walmart Martinez is ready, he delivers! What a chance for Guzman. It looked to be a free header and is deflected out of play. And it's a corner kick coming for Monterey Bay.
Even the Dogs know how good of an opportunity this was as he slashes across Mohammed, just mistimes it. No contact on the ball whatsoever. Hands in his face, golden opportunity.
It's a bagel corner kick on the way. Martinez is ready. Let's go up. Hurst heads it out of play. They'll do it again. It's another bagel corner kick here for Monterey Bay. Second successive. Martinez towards the near post, trying to flick it along. Gonzalez keeps it alive. Martinez trying to shake free of Zico Bailey. Guzman, switch of play. Maury Donor. Donor bouncing out of play. Another bagel corner kick on the way. Monterey Bay side coming into play today with the 4th most corner kicks in the league. They'll do it again here. It'll be an in-swinger this time around from Walmart Martinez. Goes back post, the heads go up and saved off the line. What a chance for Monterey Bay as Mohammed gets it out. If you're gonna have that many corner kicks, you gotta make them count, and they did. Martinez fighting through, he's going for goal, it's onto the roof of the net. What a sequence from Monterey Bay.
It's a lofted ball to the back post, and it's Kai Green that just climbs the ladder. It's a really good header, back across, and he heads it down. I think it's Nicky Hernandez on the goal line that saves Tambakis going back the other way. Omar Martinez does really well to create his own space, but it's a really difficult technique as you're facing the sideline to get your hips around it, get your shoulders above the ball to put it underneath the crossbar.
Good start here for Monterey Bay. They've conceded quite a bit of possession so far in this game, but with the possession they have, they've used it well, and they pretty much shut down anything New Mexico has wanted to do through the first 28 minutes of this game. Still no shots for the away side.
I'd argue, Josh, yes, they haven't had a lot of the ball, but they've been more threatening. They've been more direct. They've been more, a bit more urgency as well. We talked about a side that really hasn't gotten anything going in the attacking phase as of late, with due to injury, excuse me. Set pieces become that much more important just to get a little bit of confidence within the group and seeing the ball hit the back of the net. And they've been really dangerous on numerous occasions.
Coming out of that San Antonio game for New Mexico, Eric Quill said our backline's playing really well, but he said communication is the biggest thing against a direct team. Maybe it's not quite as direct as San Antonio, but It's not like Monterey Bay is waiting around. They're going for it. Well off the mark for Kai Green, but he tracks it down. There they go, back towards goal. Tambakis is there to hold on to it. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship in many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Hernandez looking to play right through the middle. And all the way back to Siaha. Greg Hurst with just 8 touches in this game so far. Leading goal scorer for this team. Second least amount of touches for a New Mexico United player, behind or ahead of only Avion Flanagan. Donor. Flanagan, he was caught, and a free kick in a decent area coming for New Mexico.
But it's a hospital ball. Here from Maury Donor, there's no need to play this ball central. It's an awkward hop, so now you're asking a lot of Alex Dixon. Needs to be really clean in his layoff for Baca. But give credit to Avion Flanagan. He reads it the whole way, first to react. And he draws a real dangerous opportunity here for the visiting side.
Ezekiel Bailey, Avion Flanagan standing over it. Reyes has come over. We'll see who decides to take this. Reyes and Bailey are standing around this, a 4-man wall for Monterey Bay. Put this into play with Flanagan. Flanagan getting end line. He gets the cross away. Out of the way by Dixon. The threat is still there from New Mexico. Lofted up. Free header for Flanagan. Not enough power on it. And taken by Siaha, the first effort on goal today for New Mexico. Baca making Bailey slip. Fair. And Maury Donor keeps possession. Hurst wins it back. He's trying to get the ball right back at his feet. Greg Hurst! Big save, Siaha! He started that move, Greg Hurst, and he nearly finished it. It's a corner kick for New Mexico.
Just watch the movement from Greg Hurst as he picks Guzman's pocket. The reaction, he wants this ball right now to his path. As Flanagan takes that extra touch, it closes down the angle, but yet the eye for a goal to hit it first time and tag this in. Good save in the end from Siaha.
Zico Bailey bouncing this in. It falls to the top of the area, and Reyes has it saved. 2 big stops from Anthony Siaha.
Talked about the importance of set pieces. Sometimes it's not the initial ball, it's the secondary ball that can really hurt teams. That's the ball pops out. Watch the technical ability. Head down, laces through the ball. A lot of bodies right in front of Siaha. It's a really good save because he sees it late. No nonsense to punch it up and over his crossbar.
Referee stepping in here for this second corner kick for New Mexico. Down to Alberto Rico, likes what he sees now. And Zico Bailey can send this in once again. It's an in-swinger this time, head of the way at the near post. Off to the far side, and Hernandez sends it right back in. A lot of yellow shirts in there. Finally, it hits the deck. Reyes for New Mexico. Hosu. Zico Bailey trying to find Reyes. Instead, he'll bring it in field. Couldn't find Flanagan. New Mexico keeps it. A whistle. And the flag is up for offside. Well, that was the best spell that New Mexico has had in this game, and forcing 3 saves out of Anthony Siaha. Fair. And now here's Robinson. Ten minutes to go until halftime. He's played down the line, trying to turn the corners. The cross comes in. Gloucester, plenty of time at the back post as he gets it out. Pressure here, Hurst. Going to do some running now as he'll have to put some pressure on Siaha, and now Green. Second ball, 1. Gonzalez. Gloucester got that challenge clean.
Really good timing in terms of the challenge here from Gloucester. When you come from the backside, you have to get it right, and he does just that.
Donor sends it back post, and Mohammed was pushed back to New Mexico. There's Baca. Guzman heads it off to the far side. Flanagan, Martinez come together. It was out of play, and a throw into Monterey Bay. Here's Flanagan. Trying to come through the lines again for New Mexico. Goes over the top, and Siaha's there. Distributes quickly for Grant Robinson. Both teams have had some spells of good attacking moments. Aside from that, the game's been played in between the boxes. There's been quite a few of these whistles and fouls. This time it's fair. And a yellow card is shown to Greg Hurst.
As he's trying to do his defensive duties here, the ball gets played back from Alex Dixon. He comes in late. I do think what gets him in trouble is he has his studs exposed and catches Moby Fair in the follow through. So he joins Kai Green in the book.
Making Greg Hurst miss. And all the way back to Siaha. Time on the ball now for Monterey Bay. Whistle, and that did go out of play. A throw into New Mexico was taken too far up the field. Flanagan was stripped. Free kick again to New Mexico. Here's Hosu. Alan Maples, Chris Gloucester, and now Greg Hurst. Abdi Mohammed. Flick off the mark from Flanagan.
Just no need from Flanagan in that instance. Your team has a couple connected passes. I've not seen them getting any sort of rhythm thus far. They just want to continue to get on the ball. I'm not trying to overcomplicate things.
Here's Baca. He's been the one to push the ball and progress it forward tonight for Monterey Bay. Here he is again. Hosu coming from behind. Referee had a good view of it, said no foul. They concede possession right back. Here's Donor. And Gonzalez down the line for Donor. Donor stands it up to the back post. The header calmly back to Alex Tambakis.
He's been a really interesting player for this New Mexico United side, Hosu, because now he gives you the ability to cover ground and do the dirty side of the game. Fantastic backtracking to go like for like with Rafael Baca. And more importantly, on the other side of the ball, now you give Zico Bailey the ability to join the attack and fill the gaps higher up the field. So you have a nice little balance at the base of the midfield for Eric Quill between Hosu and Bailey.
Hernandez. Heavy foul there on the far side. And a yellow card will go to Avian Flanagan.
Just a missed time challenge here from Flanagan as his ball rotates back over. Just watch number 7, Rebelar. Does well to win the ball. The ball's gone. Just catches the right knee area as he comes in really late with a lot of force. Now you join Greg Hurst as the 2 New Mexico players on a yellow card.
Floated in the middle, Maples away. Volley by Gonzalez, caroming and pushed over the crossbar. Alex Tambakis taking no chances there. How about Michael Gonzalez taking advantage of this opportunity in the starting lineup today?
He's been a handful. Just his work rate exactly how Frank Yelp described him. Whether it's coming centrally, whether it's running in beyond, he's been really good for 44 minutes.
It's another bagel corner kick. Walmer Martinez ready to deliver again. Flicked across. Got the last touch on it. It was Monterey Bay and a goal kick. Maples to put it back in play. Tambakis. Gloucester cutting it in and advancing forward. Reyes, quick passing ahead. It's Gloucester who tries to square it. Couldn't get it through the white shirts and out for a throw-in.
No, that's the area of the field that if you are Avion Flanagan, now you can express yourself. Really cheeky and clever back heel.
Comes in for Hurst.
The fourth official
and it's a goal kick as we are into stoppage time. It is 1 minute of stoppage time added on.
Montage Health.
Through the middle, headed down. Here's Maples. Green got his head to it, but it was right to Nicky Hernandez. Reyes. The clearance comes right to Greg Hurst, and it's wide. Siaha scrambling across the goal mouth. Not enough power on it from Hurst. And that is the last touch of the first half. Well, maybe the quantity of chances going Monterey Bay, the quality of chances, though, they've gone New Mexico's way when this first half is said and done.
And I do think the last action is a really big message for Eric Cole. You need to get Greg Hurst more involved. It was really quiet to start the first half, and as the first half progressed, he got more involved. For Monterey Bay, it's been much of the same thing, doing well, getting yourself into that final third. But how ruthless can you be to stick the ball in the back on net? All to play for in this next 45.
We have reached the break here from Seaside, California. It has been a good one so far, but nothing to split these two sides. Halftime is presented by Integris Wealth Management. At this break, our score, Monterey Bay 0 and New Mexico United 0.
Coastal Roots Hospitality is a proud partner of the Monterey Bay Football Club. Coastal Roots Events and Catering, along with its 3 iconic restaurants, Montrio, Tarpe's, and Rio Grill, invite you to pick it up and pay it forward, where 10% of all proceeds from takeout orders are donated to various local charities. Their catering service and restaurants utilize local farms, butcheries, and ocean fresh sustainability-driven seafood to deliver unique and exemplary dining experiences. For more information, visit coastalrootshospitality.com.
Are you paying too much for your car insurance? Call Coast Auto Insurance to receive a free quote and see how much you could save. Coast works with over 50 different insurance companies to make sure you get the best rate for your car, motorcycle, home, or business. Coast is a local company with local people. We do vehicle registration, SR22, and insurance for Mexico. Call Coast Auto Insurance today for a free quote and see how much we can save you. Or go to coastautoinsurance.com, where your peace of mind is guaranteed.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got, game-winning interception, first down, just a nice solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Halftime is presented by Integris Wealth Management. No score at the break between Monterey Bay and New Mexico United. Glad you're joining us here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. But let's look back at some action from a busy day yesterday in the USL Championship. We'll start in Sacramento. Sacramento Republic, Tampa Bay Rowdies, 1 goal in this game, and Charlie Dennis scores it.
It's a heavyweight match between two of the best teams in all of USL, one from the east, one from the west. It's an uh-oh moment for Vidiello as he ventures off his line. Charlie Dennis says, thank you very much. The composure, big 3 points for Tampa Bay Rowdies against a very good Sacramento Republic side.
And it was Jordan Farr, the goalkeeper, who gets credit with the assist. Then We move to Southern California, Orange County and Detroit. There were plenty of goals in this one. Stephen Carroll got the scoring started.
Two teams that needed wins in a really desperate manner. Orange County, Thomas Among, we've seen how good he can be, the strength, the ability to be direct. Al Scott, I do think he's a very underrated player for this Orange County side in the center of the park. But you know something about this Detroit City side. Danny Dicchio, he gives him the belief, and Jope gets one back.
Jope scores in the 67th minute. There would still be one more in this game. Bryce Jamison scores the game winner. And then Colorado Springs in Oakland, there was only one goal in this game. It was a banger from Delance Pierre.
In the 2nd minute, as his ball rotates over, just watch the technical ability. First touch out of his body and just unleashes a rocket. Head down, laces through the ball. As he follows through, he lands on his shooting foot, so that gives him that extra power. Not even a courtesy dive from Paul the Wall. The Switchbacks keep all 3 points at home.
The Switchbacks, a big win over the Roots, but here at halftime, no score. We're looking for some bangers like that. It is Monterey Bay 0, New Mexico United 0. Stay with us.
So asking some questions, and there's the equalizer. It's Rivas.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power, trusted for over 100 years. Our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes, only want the best. You're drowning every night, won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Let's go! I'm about to make my grand entrance.
Do you want to go to the game tonight?
Let's go! I am the future, yeah. I am the future, yeah. Let's go. I am the future, yeah. I am the future, yeah. Let's go. I am the future, yeah. I am the future, yeah. Let's go. I am the future, yeah. I am the
Montage Health, your hometown team.
Halftime is presented by Integris Wealth Management. No score at the break. Monterey Bay FC and New Mexico United to close out the weekend in the USL Championship. News and notes from around the league. A couple of big games coming up. The USL on CBS, Oakland and Sacramento. That'll be on July 21st. Detroit City and Rhode Island on August 3rd. How about Zico Bailey? Selected the Philippines national team for the upcoming window.
What an accomplishment from Zico Bailey. And then you go down one. Timothy Weah joined the ownership group of Brooklyn FC. That one's going to be a really interesting market and a really interesting organization, but we welcome them into USL umbrella. They'll be massive in 2025.
As for some of the scores yesterday, the most draws in the league go to Rhode Island, and they faced off against Hartford, who got their first draw of the season. How about Louisville? They needed a late goal to beat Miami.
some really interesting results. Loudoun United, they take down a struggling FC Tulsa side. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Bob Lilly, they've been struggling. And El Paso Locomotive, you thought things were going to change on the Roma Cabrera. Birmingham says, and walks into them and takes all 3 points back to Alabama.
And in some of the late games, no goals in Las Vegas and plenty of them in Orange County, as we saw.
You saw the highlights between the Switchbacks, Oak and Roots. Orange County needed 3 points. They got those 3 points. And Sacramento dropping at home, something that we do not see very often under Mark Briggs.
What is to come for both of these teams? We'll start with Monterey Bay. It's not going to get any easier next week against Sac Republic, the team that eliminated them from the Open Cup.
And then you have 2 East Coast travels for North Carolina and Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And then you welcome Oakland Roots. That's always a nice little fun rivalry between those 2 clubs. And not an easy place to play against the Switchbacks. If you are Frank Yalp, you're looking at this stretch of games in your schedule, really important to pick up maximum points, especially when you're at home.
On the other side for New Mexico United, it's home away, but they'll have an interesting game next week against Hartford, who is starting to maybe turn it back on track.
Talent never in question under Brendan Burke and that Hartford Athletics side, but now how do they get everything to come together? But one thing for this New Mexico United side, they're all Western Conference side. So now that's 6-point swings against Memphis, Switchback, San Antonio, and Orange County. And much like Frank Gallup, if you're Eric Quill, really important part of your season here.
Well, halftime is presented by Integris Wealth Management. The Pups are enjoying this one. It's Pause at the Park Day, and there are no goals to bark about so far. Stay with us.
At Integris Wealth Management, we know what it takes to be a good teammate. For 25 years, we've been your trusted ally. We are local and independent. We care for our clients' money as if it were our own. We believe in doing the right thing and work together to find big wins for you. Integris Wealth Management. We turn values into action and champion livelihoods.
Halftime presented by Integris Wealth Management. No goals at the break. It is Monterey Bay and New Mexico United. Let's look back on the first 45 minutes. No goals to show you, but plenty of interesting chances in this game.
And it starts with this Monterey Bay side. Your Walma Martinez, how this ball ends up at your feet. Your first touch just lets you down. Way too much weight behind it and just sends over that end line. Good opportunity to open up the scoring. And set pieces are so important for this Monterey Bay side. Nicky Hernandez, fantastic last-ditch defending effort. Kai Green just climbs the ladder, heads it down. He has to back his feet, but the center midfielder that plays the second goalkeeper. I think this is one of, if not the best place for New Mexico. That ball needs to be punched in early from Avion Flanagan as he takes his second touch. Now you have Greg Hirsch running away from goal, but it's so instinctual from the striker. Big time save from Siaha. Result of that moments after. Set pieces. As this ball pops out, Jacobo Reyes just tags this thing. The tattoos, it hits it so pure. And once again, it's Siaha to the rescue between the sticks.
As we welcome you back to Cardinale Stadium for the second half. With Ricky Lopez Espin, I'm Josh Easter. Thanks so much for being with us. One sub for either side. There is Mukwele Akale, who will enter. Former Tormenta product, his first season with New Mexico United. On the other side for Monterey Bay, it's the end of the day for Grant Robinson, and Jesus Chuy Enriquez will enter. That midweek fixture, not a surprise that there's a sub at the break for Monterey Bay. Maybe a little bit more for New Mexico. We'll see what Akale can bring in the second half.
I do think it's going to be a tactical change for Monterey Bay. Now Walmart Martinez will play at the left back position, and Enriquez will play at the left mid winger position underneath Frankie Alp. And for New Mexico, I think it's going to be a like for like for Akale.
There is the whistle, and we get this second 45 minutes underway. Monterey Bay winless in their last 7, trying to get things back on track. They've been outscored 12-3 over their last 7 games. And those subs presented by BBSI. As for New Mexico, they've won 5 straight in all comps. Just 1 loss in their last 10 in all competitions. They have been in great form. Play this in behind Herbert. Now Abdi Mohammed.
Number 12, Grant Robinson. Entering the match, number 19.
Missed clearance there by Hosu. It's Walmart Martinez now. Down the line, Enriquez. Chuy Enriquez gets the cross to the back post. The right back coming forward, and it was blocked down. Tracked down by Moby Fair. Baca. Jarred loose there, and a chance now for Greg Hurst. He's going for it from midfield. And Siaha says, not today. It wasn't even on target. But I like the effort.
You love the effort. You could always tell a striker is confident when he elects to pull up from about 50, 60 yards. It's a really difficult technique. You had to hit it with enough power and precision to be the keeper of Siaha's quality.
Here's Donor. Now Gonzalez trying to get the better of Gloucester. He got the cross away. It was a good one. He needed clearance, and now a foul. Thought they had something going there. It's in Monterey Bay. The referee stopped all progress as Flanagan is down.
It's a really good idea here from Gonzalez. He does well. Put out to the back, really acrobatic. Don't think it's a foul though. I think Maury Donor gets on this ball right before Avion Flanagan. Give credit to the New Mexico player, really clever. He goes down, he makes the most of it.
Here's Walmart Martinez. He'll go all the way back to Siaha. For that direct ball over the top, and there was a foul behind the play. A free kick coming for Monterey Bay. Guzman to get it back rolling again. Guzman. Down for Martinez. Heavy ball towards the end line. It is kept in play. Back for Enriquez. Martinez now looking for options infield. He gets the cross away. Herbert got his head to it. No foul as Revelar was brought down. Touched ahead looking for Dixon. Haven't really called his name a whole lot, Alex Dixon, in this game.
Really hard to get involved, Alex Dixon. I think it talks about his comfortability at the number 9 position, or lack thereof, I should say. So many times, whether it is Martinez on this near side or now Donor on the far side, head up, there's no one central, really putting pressure on Herbert or Maples. I think if you are Eric Quill, the challenge now is just how compact can you be in your structure, because too many times when you elect to press a little bit high, that midfield and back line are about 10 to 15 yards, and there's too many gaps to play between.
Foul at midfield again, and another set piece on the way. Here's Dixon, and he was fouled by Maples. He's moving a little bit farther up the field now. Walmer Martinez setting up for this set piece. He's delivered some good balls today. Martinez, high lofted ball in. High Green trying to get under it, and I think he connected into the face of Gloucester.
Too much weight, too much air underneath this ball. Really difficult to run onto it. Clear foul. Kai Green has his boot extremely high. They've been under a lot of pressure, this New Mexico United side, whether it is Mohammed or Gloucester, but they've been really good at their individual task and their 1v1 defending.
Right now, New Mexico just can't get much going forward. They really only had that 5 to 10 minute span of the first half where they had chances going towards goal. Aside from that, they've struggled to create much. Head for Flanagan. Flanagan could be it. He cuts it back. Siaha just grabs it with a palm. He said, "I'll take that." How about that goalkeeping from Anthony Siaha? He's getting applause from the fans here. Rebellard trying to keep this in play. Rebellard trying to advance forward. Herbert went to ground. Now Akale. You wouldn't really tell that Monterey Bay played a game on Wednesday. They seem very up for this game, and they don't really seem very fatigued either.
I think Bach is talking to our assistant referee here, asking how Avion Flanagan's not offside. Going back to this little foul from Akale, I think he's going to be a really interesting player for this New Mexico side as this game progresses. He likes to operate in between lines, really comfortable in tight spaces. So now if you get him the ball, what's the movement look like for Greg Hurst ahead of him? A true number 10. It's a striker's dream. It's a striker's dream to have a player like that underneath you.
Goal in this second half has got to be getting Greg Hurst the ball a little bit more. Not just chances from midfields, like I know you've scored before. But as Eric Quill said about Greg Hurst, when he's in top form, he's lethal. And He said he's in great form right now, Hurst.
And you see the type of goals that he's scored, whether it's right foot, whether it's left foot, dead balls, getting on the end of it. A player that does have a really high ceiling and a really interesting number 9 because he's not an out-and-out target striker. Great move.
Flanagan. Hosu carrying on. Revelar went down. There's a bit of contact there. Enriquez. And then cleared away. Minutes into this second half, and looks like there could be some changes coming here soon for New Mexico. Another player down here for Monterey Bay. Guzman back to his feet. Drop ball here. We'll get it back underway. Maples looking for some width. Maybe something on here. Reyes turning the corner, looking for Hurst centrally. Comes out for Zico Bailey. And Siaha has that covered. A lot of bodies in between that shot and the keeper, but Siaha, good sight on it. Great touch, Alex Dixon. Dixon, the centering feed, Gonzalez, shot blocked. Maples got himself in the way. Gloucester also making that difficult, and now maybe something opening up for New Mexico. Ahead for Hurst, dancing on the ball. Hurst ahead for Flanagan. Somehow got a shot away. But out of play, and some good action on both ends.
Really good work here from Reyes, but just watch the body position of Kai Green. He sees the movement of Greg Hurst, and he knows there's only one spot that this ball can come back to. It's a cutback from Reyes. Last-ditch defending effort. We go back the other way. Greg Hurst getting a little bit more involved. Bit unorthodox here from Avion Flanagan, how quickly he gets this release. Unable to put it on target. But you just see the movements from Greg Hurst, really clever as he picks up on the blind side of opposing center backs.
There's Abdi Mohammed under some pressure from Enriquez. He's going the wrong way. Herbert. Now Flanagan.
He's been a lot better in the second half, Avion Flanagan, getting more involved in the spacing as well.
Revelar touches it ahead. Donor across the face of goal. Mohammed gets it away. Deflected initially. Now it's Bailey. Advantage being played. Bailey. Baca just puts it out. I think Eric Quill is ready for the subs to come on here pretty quickly.
A couple weeks ago, had the ability to chat with Eric Quill and asked about Zico Bailey, a player that we've seen in USL Championship play in numerous of positions, whether it's at the outside back position, higher up the field, or centrally. And one thing that really stuck out with me is that during preseason, they tried him at every position, but they're
Play this to the end line. Reyes keeps it in play. Nothing else really comes of it as Martinez gets it out.
We're very impressed with his feet, how comfortable he is on the ball, his passing range, but also it gives you a lot of legs in the center of the park to cover ground. And look at the player that he's usually paired up with, Marco Micheletto, not in the lineup here today, but those two can be One of, if not the best center mid pairings in all of USL Championship.
Maybe on Flanagan, his day is over. Replacing him is Dayon Harris. The other, will be two other subs. Jacobo Reyes, he's coming off for Harry Swartz. Will also be Greg Hurst. His day has come to a close. And it'll be Daniel Bruce entering. So obviously, Eric Quill seeing something, wants to make a change. These subs presented by BBSI. It's now 4 subs that have been used by New Mexico. There's one more available for Eric Quill this afternoon.
More importantly, Josh, they've been all attacking subs for the visiting side here, all 4.
Dixon is upended, and Serbert knows what is coming, and it's a yellow card.
Such a clever little touch here from Dixon. Just changes direction so quickly. Herbert overcommits. It's a clear foul. It's a kick out on the follow through that catches him. No argument. Very rarely we see that from the center back.
He knew what he was doing.
Brought to you by Signs by Van.
Swartz and Bruce, experienced players with New Mexico United. Swartz in his 4th season with New Mexico. Bruce has been here since the beginning, back in 2019. As for Dayon Harris, his 1st season with the club after 3 years with the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
And much like Flanagan, he gives you the ability to be direct, a lot of pace. Watch out here.
Donor ahead for Gonzalez, puts it towards goal. And too far out in front of Rafa Baca.
Good read from Guzman.
Ahmed heads it forward. Guzman slices his cross out of play. And a foul here. It's Bruce who is ripped down. Guzman doesn't like it, but a set piece on the way for New Mexico United.
You have 2 options here now if you are New Mexico. With an in-swinger, Kale, you're aiming for that far post. The traffic coming on to Siaha. And if you are Zico Bailey or Harris, the outswinger aiming for right on top of that 6-yard box. Any sort of deflection, it's a nightmare for goalkeepers.
Kale touches it in. Bailey lifts it back post. Siaha takes it and wants to go quick. So many yellow shirts up the field. And here comes Monterey Bay. Donor leading the break. Switch of fields. Chuy Enriquez. Shot blocked. Second shot to the corner. On the counter. And Monterey Bay breaks through.
Not the best in terms of the execution here from Zico Bailey. Too much air underneath it, but give credit to Siaha. Let's go quick. There is real estate to operate in. Something you don't see is this run from Alex Dixon. He pulls out a center back with him, so now the real estate is on the far end. Not the best of first touch from Chuy Enriquez, but he gets a second bite at the apple and makes no mistake about it. As this ball ricochets back to him, just watch his head. It's down the whole way. Focus on it. As he lets this thing drop, he swings straight through the ball into that far post. Nothing that Tambakis can do. And Monterey Bay here at home go up 1-0.
That is the first goal he has scored in the USL Championship since 2021 with the Oakland Roots. No goals last year in his 1 year with Monterey Bay. Did not score in 2022. It's another healthy goal brought to you by Taylor Farms. He's been a very experienced USL Championship player going all the way back to 2018. He comes off the bench and he makes his presence felt here today. Now played in behind. Deon Harris trying to cut it back. Is that a handball? It looks like it's a penalty. Guzman's going to argue. But a point to the spot here for New Mexico United.
We talked about Harris coming in. He gives you the ability to be vertical. Watch the right arm of Guzman. As it's trailing, it's not in a natural position. He makes himself bigger. And the denial, letting this ball come across the face of this 18-yard box gets him in trouble. It's a good call from our center referee. Servando Puerto Rico. And now you give this New Mexico side a bit of life moments after conceding.
In the league, Greg Hurst is the only player that scored a penalty. They've been awarded 3 penalties this year to Mexico United. They've only made 1. It'll be interesting to see who gets the ball here. And it looks like Talon Maples is holding on to it now, and now Zico Bailey is going to grab it. Zico Bailey will be the one to take this. Trying to equalize just moments after they conceded. It's Zico Bailey for New Mexico United, and it's saved! Revelar sweeps it away! Siaha keeps him out! And the struggles from the penalty spot continue for New Mexico. A big-time stop there by Anthony Siaha to keep Monterey Bay in front. The first penalty he's faced this year. Harris goes down, Revelar. Zico Bailey. Now this game coming to life. Headed forward, Bailey takes it again. He's fouled by Baca. I wonder how many of these he's going to get away with. And now some pushing and shoving here. Baca is not pleased, but he will have his name taken, it appears.
It's the right arm from Guzman that gets him in trouble. Makes himself bigger. Denial of the ball coming across the 18-yard box. No argument to be had. Zico Bailey steps up. Just didn't seem confident. When you have those stutter steps, your eyes are on the goalkeeper the whole way. Just too predictable. He closes them a little bit too early, but take nothing away from the athletic ability from Siaha. Actually hits a post. Didn't even get it on target. Zico Bailey, a player of that quality, you expect him to find the back of the net.
The one issue I do have with the penalties, you are allowed a brace arm. The issue with that, though, I think it was a little too far
It's
out.
away from the body.
So that's, I guess, the one caveat to that, but I think the right decision from the referee there. The brace arm has to be pretty much right under your shoulder.
And that is what gets Guzman in trouble. Because like you said, if it's next to his body as he's sliding, fair enough. But it's about a yard or two away from it. Making himself a lot wider, not giving Harris the ability to play this ball across.
Salas coming in to take it away for Monterey Bay. He gets the cross away, going back post. It's headed back centrally. Oh, Dixon got a touch to it. Baca was coming right through the middle, but now it's Mukwele Akale. And look at all this green grass he can run into. Options to either side. It's Bruce who cuts it in and puts it out of play. not quite able to be as clinical as Monterey Bay was on their counterattack.
A little bit stretched if you are Frank Gallup, too much for your liking. But this is the player that you want on the ball if you are Eric Quill. Tons of green grass, tons of room to operate in. But now if you're Makwele Akala, you need to make one of the two center backs step up. You need to have them engage, and when they engage, that's when you play either to Bruce or that's when you play even to Harris. Not the best ball that rotates out. Now you slow up Bruce, and it's a really difficult technique to get his hips around it, to put it back on target. Little decisions like that can make a massive difference between scoring a goal or getting this thing over the bar.
Here's Harris. Akale, it's right at Siaha. And so far in this game for New Mexico, all 4 attacking players have been subbed off the field. Hernandez, Flanagan, Reyes, and Hurst. It's a brand new attacking unit with Akale, Harris, Bruce on the fields, along with Harry Swartz. Can they break through New Mexico United? And such a good run of form. They'd still be in first place no matter what happens today. They can create a bit more of a gap between them and Sacramento Republic at the top. And remember, they do have a game in hand on Sacramento. Sacramento just suffering their first defeat yesterday. We showed you those highlights against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, losing at home. Now that's winless in 4 for Sacramento, 3 draws and a loss. Baca and Donor. Swartz for Zico Bailey. Makwele Akale. Here's Herbert. Floated forward, Siaha up for it. He holds on to it in the end. Well, if you can't watch the match, here on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. We thank those of you who are tuning in today on Sirius XM FC. Lone game in the USL Championship on this Sunday to close out Week 13. It's been a good second half as this cross comes in, cleared away once again. Foot out of play, a throw-in on the way for Dayon Harris.
The use of any and all derogatory chants. This behavior is strictly prohibited, and those in violation will be identified and escorted off the premises.
Maples ahead for Bailey. Header down. Enriquez through the lines. Baca. Enriquez once again. Enriquez looking to cut it in field, taken off the ball by Abdi Mohamed. Falls for Moby Fair, the extra pass for Alex Dixon. And Monterey Bay can't make anything of it. Gonzalez dispossessed. Hosu. Hosu for Bruce. Abdi Mohamed. Mexico getting some time on the ball, but they need to start creating some chances. Maples. Akale. This is right at Siaha. You wonder if Monterey Bay is going to be able to add some insurance in this game. They've only scored 3 goals once this year. It was in the 3-1 win against Las Vegas Lights. A lot of tight wins for them as well this season. They haven't had a win since April 20th, the 2-1 win away at Memphis. Pretty even in terms of shots. 10 for New Mexico, 9 for Monterey Bay. 5-3 in favor of shots on target to New Mexico. Hosu. Now Akale, advantage being played. The foul on the far side. Harris. Harris gets the cross away, back post! Swartz was up for it, and he took some punishment for going up for it as well. A collision there at the back post, and maybe that is what put Swartz off.
How good has Harris been since coming on the field? Ability to create space for himself as he's twisting and turning. He just turns Wilmer Martinez like a top. His hips are all over the place. That's one thing. The second thing is to put in quality service in. Swartz rises up. I do think Boy Donor gets the last touch on it and sends it away from goal. The way that the substitute comes in, the initial jump, he gets it right. Clean contact, but it's a fall through. That catches Boy Donor on the back end.
Donor back on his feet, and it sounds like some subs coming. Looks like it's going to be Max Glasser to enter. So we'll see who Glasser is going to come on for, and that sub has not been taken yet. Glasser, a second-year player out of UC Davis. Siaha will put it back in play. And now the sub will be taken. Max Glasser will enter. It's just his second appearance of the season. And it's the end of the day for Michael Gonzalez. Good showing for him yet again. Still looking for that opening tally. Or pardon me, he does have 1 goal this year, but he's been in so many good areas to find another. And Glasser now will enter a BBSI substitution. Glasser, he did play on May 18th against Loudoun. His only other appearance this year. He did make 9 appearances in all competitions last year.
Really good turn.
Swartz ahead for Bruce. Bruce for Mukwele Akale. Again out of play. He just can't find that finishing touch right now, New Mexico.
Really good pick out here from Daniel Bruce. There's information on this pass for Akale to run onto it, hit it first time. But as he approaches this thing, his balance is all off. That's why he goes up and over the crossbar. A player of that quality should be hitting the target and really testing Siaha.
This New Mexico side, a bit of a surprise. They've struggled in the attacking areas of the field. They've scored multiple goals at each of their last 5 wins. That includes the 2 Open Cup wins against Real Salt Lake and NYCFC 2. Enriquez heads it out of play. Just about 10 minutes to go. This would move Monterey Bay back into third spot and then be only 3 points off the top, which is New Mexico United. Still a long way to go to close out these 3 points. Baca. Now Hosu looking to go quick over the top. Dayon Harris. Harris cuts it in, driving in, looking for Bruce. It's Mukwele Akale. Penalty! And a second one of the game coming for New Mexico United. And we'll see if this is going to be a second yellow as well for Baca. It does not appear.
Just so intentional from Harris. This touch is so good as he challenges into the interior. But watch the left leg of Baca. He catches Akale. As the sub comes in, we talked about how comfortable he is in tight spaces. Just stops in his track. Catches him, his foot in the cookie jar. And yet again, like we were earlier in this second half, an opportunity for New Mexico to draw even here.
The last one hit the post. That was taken by Zico Bailey. Now it's Mukwele Akale trying to equalize. Akale, it's saved! Incredible from Monterey Bay! And it's now 1 for 5 this year from the spot for New Mexico. Over the top, Green staying down. This ball staying in play. It's Bruce. Lifts it in again. Siaha is there. And we can take a look back at it now.
Clever touch back across from Akale. Catches Baca cheating, lunging in. But as he has a stutter step, he's looking for Siaha to make his move. It's a comfortable height in the end for the Monterey Bay goalkeeper. Big bear claw to keep it away. And you see what it means, or the lack thereof, for New Mexico. 2 golden opportunities and nothing to show for it.
Kai Green remaining down after that last sequence. He's an available center back on the bench. Would be Alex Lara. 1 for 5 from the penalty spot. I don't know how you explain that.
It's not talent, I'll tell you that much, because there's no lack thereof of talent for this New Mexico side. I mean, you think it's mentality, it's confidence. Who's going to step up and be that difference maker? And that's when, if you are Eric Quill, you're looking at Greg Hurst, and you were just hoping he would be on the field. Him, a player that's not in the lineup as well. Marco Micheletto come to mind as players that will be those game changers.
Anthony Siaha has been given a yellow card for time wasting.
Have to give credit to our center referee as well, Josh. 2 bang-bang penalty calls, and he's got them right on both instances.
Maples back for Tambakis. Herbert. Harris. Gonna play this in behind. Mohammed gets end line, and the cross blocked out by Guzman. I guess if you're Eric Cole, you can say, well, the subs have been working. They're creating a lot more. Right now, it's about that finishing touch. Still have one more sub if they'd like to use it. Another cross coming in. This one laid off. The shot by Maples blocked. Bruce throwing his body at it as Kai Green gets it out. It into the corner. Mohammed brings it down. Here's Dayon Harris. Back post, nodded away. It's still not gone. Gloucester battling with Max Glasser. And a foul will send it the other way. The USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Mention the game coming up on Wednesday, San Antonio and El Paso on CBS Sports Network. Abdi Mohammed. Maybe a slower first 45 minutes, but the second half has really picked up. Hosu, as we're into the final 3 minutes. Kali went down, but the referee said play on, and now New Mexico gives it away. Hosu will win a throw-in. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Haley looking to play through the lines. Baca gets it out. Non-stop pressure, it seems, from here on out from New Mexico. Played into the box. Harris. It's onto the roof of the net. Siaha scrambling back onto his line. Sub on the way for Monterey Bay. It will be the 22-year-old Pierce Galloway entering. Nearby Carmel. And that's the end of the day for Alex Dixon. Never really made a major impact in this game. Galloway, his first season with the club out of Old Dominion, makes the jump from Monterey Bay FC 2 from USL League 2. The subs presented by BBSI.
The tactical change now for Frank Yallop. You take off an attacking player and you just give a little bit more meat in the middle of the park. Galloway will sit right next to Baca and Moby Fair.
Another player that Frank Yallop found in an open tryout. There's a couple of those on this roster. A lot of good talent in this area of the country. And Frank Yallop and company been able to find some good players. Mexico trying to keep this winning streak alive, or at least keep the unbeaten streak alive. Monterey Bay, they haven't won in well over a month. 7 games without a win. Musu wins it right back. Flicked along. Martinez going to ground and cuts it out. Substitution, we'll see Will Seymour on to replace Abdi Mohammed. That is the final sub of the game for New Mexico as we enter 6 minutes of stoppage time. That sub presented by BBSI. Seymour. Bruce for Hosu, lining up a shot. It's saved and parried down the line. It stays in play. Herbert sends it back into the mixer, setting up the shots. Hosu, and it's bouncing wide. A bit awkward there from Anthony Siaha, but they don't ask how.
It's not an easy save. As Hosu hits it really well. It's dipping, it's hitting the turf right before it approaches the goalkeeper. He does well to parry it away from traffic. It's a little bit of hesitation from Herbert. Doesn't know if he lets it trickle over the line or does he go to put the ball back into the mixer. And it's a really difficult technique at the result of it as Hosu is backpedaling, trying to hit this thing on a full volley.
Rebelar who slipped down. Maples continued on. Didn't look like there was any contact. Hosu. Akale sends it in. Herbert just playing as an extra striker at this point. It's in front. It's Bruce. And a whistle will stop play and give it back to Monterey Bay.
Just a little bit overzealous. Daniel Bruce unable to get himself back on side. Not the biggest player, but really good with his body. Letting players underneath him, the ability to run off of him, support him. And he's been a nice little addition for Eric Quilson's coming on the field here.
Stoppage in play, and it's because of a head injury. Kai Green is down.
It's an awkward coming together between Herbert and Kai Green, two physical center backs. Good to see Kai Green back on his feet.
Frank Yallop looking on. They can make a concussion sub if needed, but doesn't look like they'll need to. Kai Green ready to be way back onto the fields. Akale. Here's Harris, the cross in front, headed away. And hard defending here for the final few minutes for Monterey Bay as Enriquez is pushed down. And free kick back to Monterey Bay will take even more precious seconds.
Just no need if you're Harris here. Just watch Shui Enriquez, really clever. The last second he just gets right in front of the opposing player between him and the ball. When you drop the shoulder through the backside of a player, you always run the risk, and that's what he gets called for.
Well, the expected goals in this game, as you could imagine, with the 2 penalties is a little bit crazy. It's 2.62 for New Mexico United. It's just 0.41 for Monterey Bay. That's why they're expected goals and not actual goals. To the end line. Bunch of yellow shirts in there. They'll look to win this back. They have maybe a minute more. They'll get a few extra seconds past the minimum of 6 because of the injury. Nothing doing there. Their last loss coming on April 27th, a 3-0 defeat against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Their only other loss to Charleston by 4-0. Now it's Bruce. And it looks like the flag is up for offside. Frank Gallup said, grinding out results is the sign of a good team. I would say this would be one that they have grinded out today. Dodging 2 penalties. Scoring the 1 goal they've needed in this game. And taking on a ton of shots and crosses from New Mexico this late stage of the game. Here is Akale. Maybe the last chance here for New Mexico. Swartz lifts the cross in, a header away by Green. And that is the final whistle. Back to winning ways for Monterey Bay. They end the New Mexico winning streak and they get a 1-0 win at home. Dogs are barking. They're happy about this one here today. Those 2 men, Enriquez and Siaha, the big contributors for Monterey Bay. It's time to take a look at today's man of the match presented by Golden Memorial. They wouldn't have 3 points if it wasn't for Anthony Siaha.
Not once, but twice. Stood up very tall between the 6 from 12 yards out. One hits off the post, the second one, big time save. But also, you go back to that first half as well. He was fantastic at keeping a clean sheet here at home. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Monterey Bay as they keep 3 points here at home.
We will come back and wrap things up here from Seaside, but what a win it was for Monterey Bay, closing out week 13. It finishes Monterey Bay 1, New Mexico United 0. Stay with us for post-game. Back here at Cardinale Stadium in Seaside, California. Chuy Enriquez is all sorts of pumped up. His first goal in 3 years. And it's enough to give Monterey Bay the 1-0 win over New Mexico United. The smile you won't take off of his face. As we look back at the full-time highlights from this one, Monterey Bay, New Mexico. Plenty of chances for New Mexico in this game. They just couldn't break through.
Give credit to Siaha. He sees the numbers committed forward for New Mexico. So what does that mean? You're vulnerable going back the other way. Bottom of your screen, Alex Dixon, he makes this run across the face of the back line. So now that opens up the real estate on the back end. Really good pick out for Maury Donor. Not once, but twice for Chuy Enriquez, a player of that quality. Will not miss on the second action. Textbook strike as this thing drops down, and it's off to the corner to celebrate 1-0 Monterey Bay.
There would be much more in this game from New Mexico. Dayon Harris was a big player coming off the bench, and then the penalty, and it would stay out.
Not the most confident of pens from Zico Bailey, the slow run up, so you always run the risk of pulling it a little bit too much. Head scratch, confusion, frustration. And you go back late into this second half. Really clever from McCullough. He sees Baca overcommit, you cut it back, but it's a comfortable height. It's an easy save for Siaha once again. He reaches the whole way. Big bear call to keep it from crossing that white line. And you just see what it means to New Mexico. Frustration starting to build. The opportunities were there, but the ruthlessness, the tenacious effort to put the ball in the back of the net, that what was lacking from the visiting side here this afternoon.
And the stats, they all go in favor of New Mexico. And I mean, we have 2 penalties. You got to at least get something out of this game.
You need to be efficient. You need to be efficient here in USL Championship. But the positive part for Eric Will is that you're creating those opportunities. Now the next step is, now what do you do with those opportunities? What you mentioned in Josh, for this Frankie Alp side, probably not their best terms of the football, but you found a way to survive and to keep all 3 points, much needed 3 points, and they go again next week.
He talked about grinding out results, and I think it's fair to say that's exactly what they did here today, and it was good enough for all 3 points. Well, the Dogs were barking at the end of this one. A successful pause at the park at Cardinale Stadium as Monterey Bay get their first win in over a month. That'll do it for our coverage here for our entire crew. Broadcast partner Ricky Lopez Espin. I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. It finishes Monterey Bay 1 and New Mexico United 0. Good night from Seaside, and thanks for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.